Mbali, I'm not good at being an entrepreneur. I just don't find the time between my work to be able to run a side business. What is your bank balance saying? Hi guys, welcome to Mbali Talks, your plug for all things side hustles, how to make money online, and just generally how you can gain a bit of financial freedom for yourself. So here are some realities that you may or may not know or may not want to hear. First of all, the price of everything that I can imagine has gone up. Secondly, quite honestly, if you think about it, you will not be able to sustain the life that you have if you were to suddenly lose your salary and or it is time for retirement. And number three, like it or not, a second income stream, even a third and a fourth, is always a good idea in order for you to stay ahead and or to stay afloat of your everyday expenses. In today's video, I want to share with you top 5 side hustles that you can actually start that I believe are businesses that will always be in style. Like literally the only thing that ever changes in these businesses is either a new trend coming into the market, new products, new services, etc. Which quite honestly, if you're already running these businesses, it becomes easier for you to integrate any new trends and or new products into your own business so that you can obviously stay ahead of the curve, always provide your customers with things that they actually want and remain profitable. If you're new here, welcome. Please don't be shy to join the Mbali Talks community by just hitting the subscribe button below. And if you've been with us since day one, thank you so very much for coming back. You guys are the reason this channel stays alive. So without wasting any more of your time, let's get right into it. The first top side hustle that you can try out if you're looking for a business that will always be profitable, that will always be in style, and that you can use for you to create a second income stream is easily one of my favorites, which is probably why it has made it to number 1 of this list. This is for you to start a wig/hair business. And I'm not talking about getting a brick and mortar shop and or a salon. I'm just talking about you finding a couple of wigs and or hairs online that you can resell to other people literally online and be able to make money. The reason this business is actually number 1 on this list is because first of all, it's a business that I've tried out and therefore I have the receipts for it. And secondly, I just feel like it's one of those businesses that now have easier ways for you to actually break into the market, make the business profitable, participate in whatever trends that are available in the market, even if you're somebody who does not know a single thing about hair. The reason the hair business is actually number 1 on my list is for 2 simple reasons. Number 1 is the fact that it's actually a business that I've experienced in, which I'm actually going to share with you. And number 2, the hair and wig business is literally worth $64 billion US and is set to grow by another $12.2 billion in the next couple of years. And when you read up on the margins, businesses like the hair business can actually allow you as a business owner to make anything between 50 to 100% of your profit margin, which basically means you could buy something at 100 Rand and sell it at 100 Rand and it would still sell. Of course, depending on the quality and or the way that you're marketing it. Now, coming back to the point of it actually being a business that I did do this business a couple of years ago. And believe me, the reason why it's a business that I am eager to restart again is the fact that its profit margins were actually good. For people that are actually interested in starting this business, there is a video that I did a while ago where I was sharing free hair vendors that you can actually try out. If you'd like more of those vendors, you can easily comment in the comment section and tell me, and I will do a video specifically for that, just so that you can know and understand where you can actually get your hair, the price comparisons before you can actually start your own business. In addition, I feel like it's now easier for you to start the hair and wig business because quite honestly, hair supplies have become cheaper than they were when I was initially starting the business. Not only that, people now understand that if you're only going to be paying 2,000 Rand for a wig, obviously, you cannot expect to get super drawn double hair that floats all the way down and that's always flowing in the wind and that will last you 5 to 7 years. That is absolutely fine, which means you have now the opportunity to join any aspect of the market in the wig business, whether it's cheap wigs, whether it's affordable wigs, or whether it's premium wigs. You can even decide to start with the first one and go all the way up to the premium brand with your business as your business grows. But I just feel like the wig and hair business is one of the easiest businesses for you to start. In addition, just as a closing note to the hair business, there are platforms like TikTok that you watch every day. best believe that's the best place where you can now launch your business. You are going to do a couple of videos, tell us about your hair, maybe not even talk in the videos, but just wear the hair, put a price on it. Someone out there is going to find you. Your tribe will find you. If you're an honest person, you make sure you deliver on time, you get good quality hair to your clients, best believe your business is definitely going to grow. The second side hustle that you can start that will always be in fashion, that will always make you money, is actually something that I've spoken about in many videos. I'm sure you guys can almost guess the word that I'm actually going to say right now. This is for you to start an Airbnb business. I won't be lengthy on the Airbnb business because I feel like I recently mentioned it in a video which you can actually check out. But I will say this. There's two ways for you that you can do your Airbnb business. You can either lease out or share a room that's already in your house, which means you do not incur the cost of paying rental somewhere else and or going to buy another apartment so that you can run your business. The only disadvantage of having Airbnb in your own house is the fact that you will always share your space with other people, whether you like it or not. The advantages is the fact that it is actually cheaper because no upfront investment. And also when it comes to you accepting people on arrival and or cleaning the space when they leave, it just becomes easier because this is something that's already happening in your house. Or number two, the second way to run an Airbnb business is actually something that has become so common. This is for you to go and find an apartment, rent it out from someone, put furniture in it, take a couple of pictures and put it up online. I will say, however, that this is something that a lot of people shy away from because they are afraid to actually tell the landlord that they want to do Airbnb in the apartment. But with all the new trends and the changes and how common this thing has become, landlords are now understanding of the fact that you are coming in to run an Airbnb. And I know this because as a landlord, one of my tenants is actually someone who took an apartment specifically to do Airbnb. This is besides the fact that I also run Airbnbs because obviously I cannot run all of South African Airbnbs. So long as I am able to get my rental from the tenant, I really do not mind the fact that she's going to make more money using it on Airbnb. In fact, I feel like it's a good idea because I'm all about empowerment, I'm all about businesses, I'm all about side hustles. So obviously it's something that I'm open to. Now coming back to you, my advice for you is just communicate with your landlord to have a clause in your lease agreement to say that you're actually interested in taking up the apartment so that you can do Airbnb. Most landlords will not even want to compete with you. So long as you're able to pay them their monthly rental, they will be satisfied. So those are the different ways that you can actually run Airbnb. Again, if you want a more in-depth idea on the Airbnb and how much you can actually make on a monthly basis, then please watch the video that I actually recommended at the beginning of the Airbnb segment. The next side hustle that I'm going to talk about that you can try, which I feel will always be in style, may seem a bit controversial because it's actually a business that I did and actually recently closed down. This is for you to start a clothing business. And you may be wondering, why did you close down the clothing business? This is the same answer that I have at the beginning of the video. Sometimes I find that in order for me to focus on certain other aspects of my business life, I need to put a halt on certain businesses because as a serial entrepreneur, I find myself having hands in many other businesses. So obviously, I must weigh the profitability to the amount of work that needs to go into it. However, if you are someone unlike me who does not have a multiple number of businesses that you're running, but you're looking for an easy business for you to start, I would still recommend you to go into the clothing business. There's two ways for you to actually go into the clothing business. You can either one, do what I used to do, create your own designs, go and buy fabric, get people into a studio, make them sew, which means you will need to spend a lot of time on your research and development with regards to sizes, fashion trends, etc. Or number two, which is the one that I would recommend to someone who has never done a business, who's actually starting out, who's a business novice, but just wants to create a second income stream for themselves. Go and find clothes from Chinese shops and sell them in your local town. All you have to do is create a page on Instagram, on Facebook, and on TikTok. And then just wear the clothes and advertise, take videos, post as reels, post as TikTok videos, etc. I just feel like those have easily become the ways for you to be able to market your business. Literally, when I started the clothing business, guys, there was so much that went into advertising, from your Facebook ads to your Instagram boosting posts, etc. But nowadays, with platforms just like TikTok, it has become so much easy for your clientele to be able to find you. Now remember, if you're going to go into the business of actually buying the clothes from Chinese shops and reselling them, you cannot overprice your products. Literally, if you're going to buy a dress at 230 Rand from the Chinese shop and sell it at 300 Rand, for me, I feel like that's a very good profit margin because there's nothing that you've basically done to the garment except just to put it online and resell it. Not only that, you often find that by the time time that your business starts growing, even the Chinese shops and or suppliers themselves are now discounting the clothes to you because they know you buy in bulk. So you may move from buying an item at 230 to buying it at 200 rand, but still selling it at 300 rand, which means instead of making 70 rand, you're now making 100 rand from that garment. I just feel like it's one of the easiest business models that you can get yourself into, buying to resell, and that's it. And again, the reason why this business will never grow out of style is very, very obvious, guys. We wear clothes every day. We have events that we are attending. We have baby showers, birthdays, graduations, lunches. I mean, since COVID, people don't want to sit at home, which means there's a lot of activity and trends that have come into the beauty, fashion, lifestyle market, which you can actually take advantage of by actually curating a certain type of style based on your feels, based on your likes as well. Whether you believe it or not, you will always find clientele that is in line with your kind of styling. All you have to do is to just put your business out there, put your faith in it, put the work into it. And quite honestly, a business like the model that I'm suggesting does not even require you to do any business. It's a matter of getting the pictures from the Chinese supplier, either wearing the clothes yourself and taking videos, or maybe just using the pictures as they are from your Chinese supplier, fetching the things from your supplier, putting them into a courier and sending them to a client. It's as easy as taking a candy out of a child's mouth. So it's definitely one of the businesses that I would recommend that I can guarantee you will never run out of style. The next side hustle that you can start that will never run out of style, that will make sure you're always in business, it's always profitable. The only thing I'll say about it is that it depends on the location that you're in. So you may want to look into that before you actually start it. This is for you to start a nail business. So with all businesses, there's different ways that you can actually do and run your nail business. You can either, number one, hire people that are actually more skilled in the nail tech business in order for them to be nail techs in your own salon, offer them a salary and or a commission based on the work that they're actually going to do. For example, if someone comes into the salon to do their nails, the nail tech takes 40%, your business takes 60%. That's basically how you can pay them. Or secondly, you can pay them a full-time income, which I feel like can be kind of tricky because a lot of the work is hands-based, which is why you find a lot of nail techs don't really last in the businesses that they are hired in because they start realizing this is actually money that they could be making on their own without having you pay them a fixed salary. So my suggestion would probably be to use the commission basis business model in order for you to be able to pay them. Or number three, which I quite honestly feel like works best if you're somebody who's either looking for a retirement plan or you're actually somebody who does not have a full-time job and you want to get into something more permanent. This is for you to pay 5,000 to 6,000, maybe even 10,000 rand, depending on the school that you go to go and learn how to do nails. There's currently an academy that I actually know because I actually do my nails there on an every other month basis. This is called Even Board Academy. They basically teach you how to do your nails. And last I checked, I think they had a course that can be from 3,500 rand. I could be wrong, but I just felt like the money that was quoted in their post was actually a low amount of money for someone to pay to get the kind of skill that they can use to consistently regenerate an income for themselves. So there's also that option. But because a lot of the side hustles that I'm suggesting in this video are actually directed to people that do have a full-time job but are looking for a way to make a second income stream and or just a way to create a retirement plan, this is how I basically look at all my businesses, guys. I don't necessarily look at them as a way for me to make money now. Like, money now is great. Of course, you get to spend it, do whatever with it. But more than anything, I'm always looking for ways to turn those businesses into retirement plans, in the sense that should I want to stop working at the age of, say, maybe 55, I should not have to worry because I would know I have a property business, I have an Airbnb business, I have an Uber business, I have a hair business that's already been running. And even though as a full-time worker, you do have your pension that's going to come out, but the reality of pension is it will not allow you to live the life that you're currently living based on the salary that you have, because your pension is usually way less than the actual salary that you're actually earning, which then for me says if you want to live the same life in the ages of 55, 60, going on upwards into your retirement, then it makes sense for you to create other businesses, other streams of income that you can actually use during your retirement to make sure that you're supplementing your pension to keep up with the lifestyle that you actually have. So again, because most of the businesses suggested in this video are actually directed to people that do have 9-to-5 jobs, my suggestion for you is to stick to opening a salon, getting 2 to 3 nail techs that you can actually work with, pay them a commission based on the number of clients that they actually do, and then your job is to make sure that you're buying product, you're advertising the business, and you're getting people in. This is one of the easiest business models that you can do. The only thing that I would add on to say you should do, just make sure that you properly research the products that you're going to use, because you don't want people using cheap products that are then end up going to cheap and have a lot of customer complaints. So that's basically the biggest part of what you're going to do in this business. The next side hustle that I would suggest for you to start in order for you to make money for yourself in a business industry that will always be in style is one that has made it to the end of this list, simply because unlike all the other businesses that I've actually suggested in this video that may not require you to put in any money in order for you to start them, this one will require you to have a bit of an investment upfront that you can invest in order for you to be able to do it. This is for you to start an Uber business. This is a business that I myself was into before COVID, but unfortunately when COVID hit, I had to sell the cars because obviously nobody was going anywhere, we were not doing anything, and it just started feeling like a non-profitable business. However, I will say that when I started the business around 2016, I think it was the end of 2016, I was literally making 8,500 Rand per week. Now with the 8.5 that each car was making on a weekly basis, 1,500 Rand would go to the driver, another 1,500, 1,200 depending on how busy the driver is, because at the time the prices were lower. This would go to fuel. And then another maybe 500 Rand for whatever miscellaneous cost that might come up. At the end of the week, each car would profit 4,000 Rand, literally on an every week basis. Now multiply the 4 by a 4-month period, which meant each car was easily making 16,000 Rand in profit. And then once you've gotten your 16,000 Rand, you're probably going to subtract another 4,000 Rand for you to pay the bank as well as for you to pay insurance. But still, even with those costs, each car would easily profit between 10 to 12,000 Rand on a monthly basis. Now, I'll be honest with you to say that I do know that this margin has gone down slightly. However, based on all the conversations that I've had with a lot of Uber drivers, because I use Uber quite a bit for exactly that purpose of being able to research, the business has started picking up again, which means even though the margins have gone lower, I can assure you, you will not get less than 8,000 Rand on a profit basis, on a monthly basis, on a car. Not only that, when we started Ubers was only accepting a specific type of car, but now they are more open to even smaller cars that are cheaper and easier to run that you can actually invest in. Not only that, if you feel like you don't have, say, maybe 250,000 Rand to go and invest in a small Toyota car, you can always try auctions like Oka, etc. that you can check out for cars that are the same kind of range, but will probably be selling at between 60 to 80,000 Rand. Remember, this may require you to have that money upfront, which is why I said this business will require you to have an investment upfront. However, I just feel like if you're somebody who's more concerned about the bottom line, you're somebody who's more concerned about just seeing the money come in on a cash flow basis, Uber is easily one of the businesses that I'd advise you for you to start and make sure that you'd actually be able to see results. Whew, that feels like such a mouthful, guys. But anyway, I do hope that you found this video valuable. If so, then please do reward me for all the work that has gone into this video by just hitting the like button. And if you're on this part of the video but still have not subscribed to the Mbali Talks community, I really don't know what you're doing. Trust me, it costs you absolutely nothing. All you have to do is just click the subscribe button below so that you can join the Mbali Talks community. And also, if you want to make sure that you're always getting this content, you're one of the first few people to see the videos, just make sure that you keep your notification bell on for the channel so that you never miss out on any of the content that happens here on Mbali Talks. With all that said, I wish you guys all the best in finding remote work from home jobs or side hustles that you can start, and or easy ways for you to be able to make money online. I'm actually going to see you guys in the next Mbali Talks video. Cheers.